Hi Virginia, this video is for your second Pick 3 pair method. If you are new, make sure that you do check out my first video on this first. I'll provide a link. It should show up like on the right hand of your screen most likely, so check that out first so you're not completely lost with this method. Okay, so for everybody else, just a quick refresher. This method is good for 7 to 14 days. Your state likes Saturdays for this method. When you're doing your own workouts, make sure you always go back at least 1 month to test the theory out. And what's good about this too, so if you do decide to maybe play the pairs, in maybe a month or two, you always want to double check that the Saturdays and the 7 to 14 days are still valid, because the states always change their patterns all the time. So you just want to make sure that this pattern is still happening. Okay, and then just so you know, so I know I said this, that the method's good for 7 to 14 days for your state. But the examples in the video, they are based on a 7-day period. Okay, so again, if you watch the video and at the end you're very confused, make sure you do check out that link I'll provide, or I did provide earlier in the video. Okay, so just to show you how I go about doing the method, I'm not going to show you the in-depth section of that, but basically what I do is I go back 1 month, and then I'm looking at November 3rd, because that's about a month ago approximately, on Saturday. You had 1-4. Oh, so also too, just a quick refresher too. The pairs you're basically going to be looking for with that 1-4-4 would be like 1-4, 4-1, and 4-4. Okay, and then, so in this example, you had a 1-4 back pair on November 6th, and then that was with the number 7-1-4. You also had 1 X4 split with 1-9-4 on November 9. So that's the two that hit on that week. The next week, the next Saturday, you're going to do the process again. It's going to be 8-2-8 fell on November 10th on Saturday. It's going to be a 8-2 front pair that fell. And then that was 8-2-0 on November 11th for that. You also had a 2x8 split on November 13th with 2-1-8. You also had, so that's what happened on that week. And then that next Saturday, again, you're going to start over. So that's going to be November 17th on Saturday. You had, and that's from 9-1-4. And then that week was pretty good for this method. You had a 1x9 split with 1-0-9 on November 20th. You had 9-4 front pair with 9-4-8 on November 22nd. You had both a 9-4 front pair and a 4-9 back pair on November 23rd. And you also had a 9-1 front pair on November 24th with 9-1-2. So again, starting over for that next Saturday, you had 9-1-2 fall on November 24th, and from that you had 1-2 back pair with 3-1-2, and that was on November 25th or 25. Okay, so Virginia, that's a very quick example on how I go about doing this method. And then based on what I just covered, the number that hit today was 444. And then the potential pairs from that 444 is 4-4 back pair, a 4x4 splits, and a 4-4 front pair. So with the triples, I have not done an in-depth research with your state to see if it totally changes the patterns up. So what I would suggest is before you're playing that 4-4, the pairs for that, definitely research your state first and see if, because I know for some states the triples can like completely change the pattern. So just make sure you check. If it does happen to throw some curves on that, or curve balls on that, then what I would think it would maybe do, like if it's gonna be straightforward, is just mirroring that 4-4-4 and then turning it into a possible 9-9 pair or a 9-4 pair. Or you could reverse it too. It could be a 4-9 pair as well. And then I was looking very quickly at all the numbers that hit today for all the states about an hour ago. And so as of an hour ago, I saw at least, I want to say like between 3 to 5 states that got that 9-9 pair. So I would maybe just have that in the back of your mind, just so you know. And then I am recording this before your night draw tonight. Today is December 1st. So if that 9-9 falls, then it's possible it would repeat. It's too early in the month, of course, to see if that's going to be something that'll happen again or not in December. Okay, Virginia, that's pretty much it. If you do have any questions or comments or need clarification with something, just let me know in that comment section.